Is Uddhav Thackeray ready to resign? Will he step down? Before I tell you more about this, let's quickly bring you up to speed with what has happened in the last few hours. The crisis in the state of Maharashtra, it's a story moving very, very fast. Eknath Shinde, the man who's behind this entire crisis in the state, has broken his silence. He's tweeted a little while earlier. That tweet is a direct message for Uddhav Thackeray, where Eknath Shinde says he will never cheat for power. He says, we are staunch Shiv Senics. We will never betray Bala Sahib's ideology. So that clearly is a dig at Uddhav Thackeray, a clear message for Uddhav Thackeray, a direct challenge that is thrown by Eknath Shinde to Uddhav Thackeray. That who the real Shiv Sainik is. Now, I don't remember having seen or heard of such a rebellion in the Shiv Sena before, and this is a litmus test. It is a litmus test for Uddhav now to contain this crisis, to save his government in the state of Maharashtra, and more than that, it is also a battle for Uddhav Thackeray to save his legacy. Because Eknath Shinde has actually said that he stands with Bala Sahib Thackeray, and he says that he is a Kattar Shiv Sainik. Unlike the Shiv Sena of today. He says he will never compromise with his ideology for power. For power. If you see his Twitter bio, he's removed all references to the Shiv Sena. He's donning a saffron topi. There is a tilak. So the message is clear. So is Eknath Shinde then saying that the present Sena being headed by Uddhav is not the real Shiv Sena? Will he engineer a split in the Sena? Now his grouse is that Uddhav has compromised far too much to remain the chief minister. He's compromised on the ideals of Bala Sahib. That is what he's wanting to say. And what you also must know about Eknath Shinde is that he's a ground subneta. He isn't a dynast. He's grown up from the grassroots. Now back to what Uddhav is up to right now. There are multiple messages, going out because there were reports saying that Uddhav is sending emissaries to get in touch with Eknath Shinde. And on the other side, you have Uddhav cracking the whip. Eknath Shinde has been sacked as the SLP leader. On the other side, the BJP has reacted. Chandrakant Patil just addressed a press conference. He was asked whether there was a proposal being sent to Eknath Shinde, and he said right now, no. But in politics, anything can happen. So, what's happening in Maharashtra is not just a story about Maharashtra. The story is also about the big picture of 2024. Maharashtra has 48 seats. 48 seats. And each of these seats is extremely important to the calculation of the BJP come 2024. And for the last, many months, you've been seeing the BJP on one occasion or the other trying to put the Mahavikas Aghadi government on the back foot. Trying to again and again reiterate that this is a government that cannot sustain. There are internal, differences. There are internal rifts. So what happens in the next few hours is going to be extremely important. As I told you, the BJP is waiting and watching the situation unfold. When you have the BJP right now telling us that they have absolutely nothing to do with the crisis that is unfolding in the Sena's camp, and they say this is the Sena's own doing. On the other side, the man responsible for this entire crisis, Eknath Shinde, at 1:30 in the night, with his strength of MLAs, moves from Maharashtra to the state of Gujarat. Gujarat, the BJP bastion. There are also some unconfirmed reports saying that you do have a BJP MLA who has entered the Surat resort where these MLAs are housed right now. So we'll have to see what happens on that front. Sharad Pawar has also addressed a press conference a little while earlier. Sharad Pawar is in the national capital. There is a big meeting about the opposition's presidential candidate, and they've even announced the former finance minister Yashwant Sinha as the joint opposition nominee. But that is not the story. The story is also about, all this happening simultaneously. Sharad Pawar addresses a press conference. He meets with Praful Patel. He says right now he's not intervening in the situation. He'll intervene only once the Sena asks him to intervene and to help. So it's all well between the NCP and the Sena camp also. We do not know. There are again reports saying that Sharad Pawar is going to be flying back to Mumbai later tonight and he's going to be meeting with Uddhav Thackeray. So is the onus now on Sharad Pawar to kind of curtail this crisis, to douse the fire right now? We still do not know. It's a long shot. On the other side, you have Sanjay Raut of the Shiv Sena, who continues to maintain that all is well. He says all is well, we have the numbers, we are in touch with Eknath Shinde and a lot of other MLAs. But with this tweet, with this message, the direct challenge that Eknath Shinde has put out for Uddhav Thackeray, is a truce possible? What about the Congress? The Congress also right now is watching the situation unfold. They've blamed the BJP for engineering this entire crisis, and they again reiterate that our government is safe. But as I said, the story will have multiple layers. If the cross-voting that happened in the MLC election yesterday was not an indication enough, what has happened today really tells you that this is a huge test for Uddhav Thackeray. We saw what happened also during the Rajya Sabha polls when all was not well in the Mahavikas Aghadi. So we'll watch that story as promised. We'll keep you up to date, help you understand the news that you don't get. Do subscribe to my YouTube channel in case you haven't done that already. For the moment, thank you. I'll be back with more updates.